Last weekend, the Imam of Tooting Mosque was called to defend comments he'd made against organ donations. Sheikh Sulaiman Ghani has been commenting on this issue for a number of years and calls post-mortem organ donations a desecration of what he says is a trust from God.
We cannot interfere with any organ of a person that has passed away.
The problem is he's now being asked to justify his position with St George's Hospital, where he's employed as a Muslim chaplain. But on the streets of London, we found most people remain undecided about transplants and their legitimacy in Islamic jurisprudence.
Honestly, Allahu Alam, I will ask the scholars' opinion first.
Yeah,
I can't give my personal opinion.
Do you have any clarification on the matter?
Honestly, no.
No. Do you know if it might be halal or haram or...
Tonight on Avant-Garde, we look into the Islamic arguments for and against a medical procedure which is entirely legal and has proven to save lives. And we investigate whether attitudes to organ transplants across the Muslim world are changing.
If you take cancer, many years ago, well, it's a taboo subject, I can't talk about it. Now the same thing's happening with organs.
One of the principles we use is to say that where there's necessity, prohibitions can be overridden.
If there is a benefit in a particular matter, the benefit should always take priority over harm. And if somebody is about to die, what's more beneficial? Saving or allowing them to die? In my view, saving, because that's our duty and that's the duty of medical science.
Men and women crowded into a room in Jordan's capital at the end of last year to break a world record. In 8 hours, more than 3,500 people registered as organ donors, setting a new Guinness World Record. The pledges display what some say is a progressive and modern approach to something which has previously been frowned upon in Muslim societies. Young women who registered focused on the benefit organ donations have on others once their own lives are over.
When a person after a long life passes away, he has no more use for his corneas. They were eaten by worms. This is what happens to the human body. So why don't I give my corneas as a gift to someone who benefit from them, someone who will be able to see life again with all its colours?
I signed up to donate my corneas. To begin with, when I first heard about this drive, it seemed a bit scary. But then when you think about it seriously, this will make a huge difference in someone else's life. Someone will be able to see because of you. So it's like giving him his life back.
Jordan has long pioneered medical progression and in the late 1960s was one of the first countries in the region to perform an organ transplant. But some Muslims remain divided on this issue. Many say it's outright not allowed, while others cite a concept known as ad-darurat tubih al-mahzurat, which makes permissible the prohibited when the preservation of human life is at stake.
من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا ولقد جاءتهم رسلنا بالبينات ثم إن كثيرا منهم بعد ذلك في الأرض لمسرفون.
Abada Ghanem has just sat his final medical exams. On his way to a meeting about how to raise better awareness on this issue, we caught up with him to find out why Muslims are now being encouraged to register on the organ donor list.
When you sign an organ register card, you're basically saying, when I die, I'm happy for you to use my organs to be transplanted to someone else. And this is where really the crux of the debate lies. We have to recognize that there are valid opinions for and against cadaveric organ donation. It's a fact to say that the majority of scholars are in favor of cadaveric donation than those against. And they both have their arguments and they both have their views and they both respect each other's views and they both say they're valid views. But more of them now are leaning towards the view that you can actually donate. And they don't just say you can, but they say that you should. They encourage it.
Islam emphasizes the speedy burial of deceased, so it may be easy to understand why loved ones don't want to book in unnecessary procedures before a funeral. The idea of taking a knife to someone who's passed away is also uncomfortable for many families. But with advances in successful transplants, medics say it's now possible to use transplanted organs and tissues to enhance the life chances of those suffering from a range of terminal conditions. These can be renal illnesses, liver and heart failure. According to the NHS, most donated organs in the UK come from people who die from a severe brain injury. This is called brain stem death. When this happens, the patient may still be on a ventilator and have a heartbeat, which allows blood to flow around the body. This prevents oxygen loss from the organs, which facilitates a healthier transplant outcome. There are more than 7,500 people waiting for an organ across the UK, and more than 1,000 people die each year waiting for a transplant. That's 3 people a day. The NHS doesn't list statistics according to faith, but figures show that less than 2% of South Asian and black communities are on the organ donor register. But these are the communities which are 3 times more likely to need an organ transplant than the UK average. This group also waits twice as long for a kidney transplant, and that's because it's difficult to find a suitable match for organs.
Would you give one of your organs to save another life?
We asked members of London's Muslim community for their thoughts on organ transplants and found many of them confused or unwilling to explore the debate further.
Has anyone ever told you about organ donations in Islam?
Not really.
No.
I don't
No.
know.
Do you know if it might be halal or haram or?
I think it's halal, but there's certain conditions for it to be halal. I think I'm not sure, so don't quote me. I think it's if it's a relative, you can donate, but you can't just do an organ donation card where anyone can take it. That's what I know anyway.
Is it something you'd be prepared to do?
Not really, to be honest, because like I said, because I don't know if we really can do it or not, the ins and outs. If I knew that it's 100% okay, then I probably would do it, inshallah.
Anything from your body you're donating, it's haram. I know in Islam, Islam Sharia is haram. So I don't like it. So I don't want to talk with this matter.
Honestly, Allahu Alam, I will ask the scholars' opinion first.
Yeah.
I can't give my personal opinion.
Do you have any clarification on the matter?
Honestly, no.
Do you know if it's halal or haram?
No, so I can't give you that answer actually.
A lot of the Asian community, be it Islamic, Hindu, Punjab, they don't want to deal with organ donation. Why? Because first of all, they don't have enough information about it. So we need to talk about that more, how it helps, what's a good. The second thing is they're a bit scared because of the dogmas, the myths and the taboos explained with it. Is organ donation meaning I have to take my arm off? Does it mean I have to give up something from my child? It's a load of rubbish, we know that. But if you believe this, then you're going to keep a fear in your mind. And the third reason why a lot of people don't go from the Asian communities to get organ donation is because they don't really know how to. Who is it that they approach? Where is it that they should go? If you take cancer, many, many years ago, well, it's a taboo subject, I can't talk about it. Now the same thing's happening with organs. If we talk more about it, then the word organ donation is not a scary word.
Jordan isn't the only country where organ donations are popular. In 1980, a Turkish Religious Affairs Council ruled that Islam allows organ transplantation and donations. Similar rulings were issued by organisations in various Muslim countries, including Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Kuwait, Egypt and Algeria. National religious authorities also frequently join campaigns organised by NGOs or hospitals, which are aimed at increasing awareness about the issue and its religious aspects.
It's the Islamic Fiqh Academy of India, their fatwa in 89. They were the ones who said that it's not permissible. Although they allow some of the living transplantation, but specifically cadaveric transplantation, they say they don't really allow it. But actually even from amongst them, so for example, the respected Mufti Taqi Uthmani, he used to hold the view that organ donation is impermissible, like his father, Mufti Shafi Uthmani, rahimahullah, he's passed away, may Allah have mercy on his soul. he's passed away, and he held his father, Mufti Shafi Uthmani, held the view that organ donation was impermissible. His son, Mufti Taqi Uthmani, also used to hold that view, but now he himself has pulled out of the debate and said it's too complex. I'm going to be on the fence.